It's recording already. You don't have to do that.
Right, Autophiles, we are in an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
We have here the...
More or less original Mini.
yeah, but it is one of the later generation of the original Mini. It's a Mini Clubman.
It's a Mini Clubman, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we have the latest generation Mini Cooper S.
Yeah.
We're going to do a drag race. No, I'm just kidding. What we're going to do is, we're not going to do any direct stupid comparison because it doesn't make any sense. These two cars are completely 100% different. The only thing that is the same is the Mini badge, which on that one doesn't exist because it's badged as an Austin.
Yeah.
I think the philosophy...
You think the philosophy is the same?
Is derived from that, and there's a branding that's derived, and we'll talk about that also. Tell us more about this specific model.
I think Mini was a product born out of desperation. It was after World War II, and Britain needed a mass market mover.
A Volkswagen.
A Volkswagen Beetle for Britain. What they did is they come up with a brilliant packaging idea. I think it was a solution at that time. I mean, putting engine in that position, in transverse position, it was a brilliant packaging solution at that time. To transversely mount the engine. They decided to package it into something so small, front wheel drive, but yet feel reasonably comfortable for 4 adults in the interior. So it was a bit of a breakthrough. I mean, it's like going through a really small door to get into a really large room on the inside. It's unthinkable. Whereas modern cars, on the other hand, from the outside looks really huge. When you get into it, it's like,
yeah,
where did it go? Where did it go?
Yeah.
But I think one more thing that was surprising about the old Minis was that, unlike the Volkswagen Beetle, they actually drive really well. Which is surprising, I mean, because that was supposed to be the wrong chassis setup. Right? The wrong way around, wrong wheel drive, wrong engine setup.
And the suspension was this weird
this ball
rubber joint.
Yeah. So it was really weird that that thing turns out to handle really well. And I think that was a characteristic, that the only thing that connects the old Mini to the new one.
Yes. Yeah. That feel of it being completely the wrong setup.
Yeah.
But still handling in a very unique way and very identifiable way.
Right. Very agile, very sharp. I mean, counterintuitive, right? You're expecting something like a Lotus Elise to drive like that, but here you have a wrong wheel drive, wrong setup, engine, but it drives sprightly and fast and responsive and really fun. The only time I drive another car that is remotely like this is the Civic Type R.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, a lot of Hondas emulate that a bit.
Yeah. But it wasn't like... I think Honda Civic Type R has an issue of taking itself too seriously. Whereas Mini doesn't have that. I'm pretty sure a Mini Cooper S is not as capable. I mean, it's far from as capable as a Type R.
As in this car?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Far.
Very different.
But I don't think they take themselves as seriously as the Type R does. And I think that sense of humour adds to its character, which kind of... kind of, you can say, relate to the original Mini, but really, to be honest, that's the only thing that the old Mini has with the new, in terms of philosophy, I personally do.
Yeah, but there's one thing that they screwed with in the philosophy,
right?
And that's both the strength and the weakness of the current Mini.
Yeah.
And that's what we like to call the BMW-ness.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a whole package, right? When you say BMW, a lot of things come to your mind.
Yeah, a lot of associations.
A lot. Like BMW, I mean, you have to admit, BMW design language is a bit poor. Yeah. It's a bit boring. It's a bit too predictable. No outside-the-box thinking.
Yeah.
On top of that, you have poor plastic, poor use of material, poorly screwed together.
Extensive use of plastic.
Wax. Not plastic, wax. Yeah, they melt, they scrape off, they squeak after a while. Do we have that problem here?
Yeah, as I was coming into this area, a new squeak developed.
Oh no!
So, and there's this feeling that everything in the car is no longer mechanical. Everything has some electronic connection.
Wires connected.
The signal light, the gear lever. Yeah. There's just nothing that you are pressing and is going to the actual thing.
Correct.
I mean, they simulate reality very well.
I think we have to pause for it.
I'll whisper it in your ear. I think they simulate it very well, like how it's supposed to be. But this and this...
It's not f***ing seconds, bro!
I can't wait. Sorry. Yeah, so this is a very good approximation of what this is really. This is just a simulation of this.
But you're talking about like regular car review?
Yeah, but that simulacra did not exist.
Yeah, it did not
this
exist.
does exist. But
okay, but it's way more. It's way more than this, because the original one does not just handle well. It was an amazing packaging breakthrough. It was also comfortable and spacious.
yeah, I mean, and it was aimed at the mass market. This
Right.
is aimed at upselling you.
Yeah. Let me get this right. What you're saying here is that despite the bigger size,
Yeah.
this is lesser of a car than the original one.
I would say it's a complete opposite.
Complete opposite. Intellectual opposite of this.
Yeah, it's like a upside down BMW way of thinking. But this is the only way you can sell Mini in
Today.
2019.
Alright.
I don't think any such package, even if it's done by a Japanese car maker, Daihatsu, let's say they come up with a new Kalisa,
Copra,
Copen,
Copen,
you will not hit margins and volume the way BMW hits.
It's true. It's true.
So yeah, let's take a closer look at the pillar sizes. Straight away you can kind of see the iconic Mini angles.
Right, a very high angle,
Yeah.
almost a what it looks like 60-70 degree angling. But the original one looks a bit more, doesn't it?
Much worse. You look at the angle of this A pillar, it's very extreme. Yeah, almost 90 degrees. Whereas on here they kept the spirit of the angle alive. But you can see aerodynamics came into play.
Yeah.
But when you sit inside, you kind of feel that same
Oh, it's in your face, right?
very in your face.
It's
That sensation of being stuck in a small space.
fucking claustrophobic.
It's claustrophobic, right?
What? I mean, it feels smaller inside here than in there.
It is.
Huh?
The dashboard juts in
Too much. The seats
That's my
are a bit
entire
bulky.
forearm.
Seats are a bit bulky, right? You have things all over the place.
Yeah, you have to share the armrest with your passenger.
I mean, that one doesn't have an armrest. I mean, this is not what the original Mini was meant to do, isn't it?
Okay.
It was meant to carry 4 adults comfortably.
Now, look at your seating position and look at the legroom behind.
Oh, it's like 3 inches worth of space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
and I feel claustrophobic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not comfortable enough for you.
I think
And it's already like that for the person behind.
I think it's for a young woman. It's fine. Who is
Or a
not
small
too tall.
man.
Or a smaller man, like in China or in Japan. I think it would be fine. But even that, it's really tight, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very tight.
And when I was saying about plastics earlier, all the knobs,
I know. It
squishy
feels-
plastic.
They feel okay now, but I know they will melt.
Yes.
And that's the worst part. And there's this, how should I say, almost a Peugeot-ness to its plastic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at this, you know, oh man, this plastic will
The
fail.
scratchy plastics.
Yeah.
Normally these kind of scratchy plastics are reserved for like door cut underneath here.
Yeah, things you don't touch. But over here, it's all over the place. On top of that, you have, I think it's that design element, the trendiness, which is a bit Peugeot-ish.
I call it Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a bit Toys R Us like, which is design element imbued deeply into the panels, but yet the panels feels really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels cheaper than Bandai toys. You know? I mean, I get this really dangerous feel when I see so much design element and so much cheap plastic. It reminds me of Fiat in the 90s. It reminds me of Alfa Romeo in the 90s.
Yeah.
It also reminds me of a Peugeot around the same era.
Renault also.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same cheap plastic that American cars use, but you know, in American car, they tend to be a little bit more conservative with their design. But over here, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's not good news, right? That's scary. My glasses are fogging.
Yeah, okay, let's get on.
Okay. Right.
You can compare the boot size. The one thing that's different is you can lower this parcel shelf thing.
Oh. But why did they cut away so much space
What do you mean?
with that?
I think, I don't know, they need...
Because there's a lot more space down here.
If you put the floor down here,
Yeah.
you don't get to package it properly because you have a lot of angles coming in and all that.
so it looks
so if you want a
tidy
flat
lah.
floor, yeah, and then after that you can push this down, and then you get a flatter floor. You can raise this floor to this level.
Right.
So they're just giving you options to distract you from the fact that it's a very small boot. Look at the volume of the boot compared to the whole.
There's an extra tire in there.
Yeah, this doesn't have a spare tire. But yeah, the volume of luggage space proportionate to the size of the entire car. This, oh, damn it, this is actually a lot bigger percentage proportionally. Look at the size of that. You got enough space for a battery, for a spare tire.
It's a packaging genius, man. It's a complete packaging genius. But of course, I think they make some compromise that modern car cannot do, like safety,
Oh yeah.
airbag,
Yeah,
comfort zone.
that's I think where BMW had to waste a lot of space.
Yeah.
First thing is the design element. I think they wanted to achieve that, the Mini look.
Right.
So a lot of these, like they could maximize this a bit more,
Right.
but because it's a Mini, they have to push this in quite significantly.
Yeah.
And because of modern safety regulations, I mean, you look at the thickness of the pillar here compared to the thickness of the pillar here. This is like paper thin. It goes around like that. Whereas here, this is a actual thick pillar. It's about that thick. You know, this will most probably withstand rolling over.
They were built to a different safety standard. But on the design philosophy side, I think there is also the issue of maybe it's a German thing. You look at German cars, like even S-classes, they are huge car, but they are not really as big as you think they are on the inside. It's a very German thing. Well, else, take a look at MyV. MyV is not a big car, but it looks so big on the inside, isn't it?
Yeah.
It feels huge on the inside. This I think it could be down to whoever was designing Mini. I mean, it's a very German approach.
Minimalistic approach.
Yeah.
Well, final thing we can talk about, the Union Jack.
Oh yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Now, just to let you know, I did not put this here. I don't know why the mechanic decided to put it on, I just never removed it.
This is genuine
Union Jack.
UK weeaboo.
Weeaboo. No man, no. But this is just passive aggressive. I literally cannot drive around with the Union Jack, or half of Union Jack on this side of the lamp and the other half on the other side.
One up here.
Imagine if you drive around a Proton with a flag of a Malaysian flag kind of built into its design language. Imagine you drive a Chinese car with the stars, the 5 stars.
The signal light is the stars.
There you go. Imagine you drive around in a Japanese car with that banzai thing going on. Only in cartoons you see nonsense like that. I think this kind of thing is a bit cheesy, to be honest. I mean, if you want to be a bit international, and also it's dangerous. Imagine if you want to drive a Mini around in China, and let's say China has a bad relationship with UK at the moment, which is not too far. I mean, you'll be targeted, man. You have to think.
Be smashed.
Yeah, you get smashed in and whatnot, and then probably they'll come up with aftermarket design for Chinese market just to have 5 stars to replace.
You know, there's another British brand that got bought over by a non-British.
Who?
MG.
Oh yeah, Modern Gentleman.
Modern Gentleman. Well, MG, Modern Gentleman,
Right.
they've got current design where they have the Union Jack on the roof, I think.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, and you know it's made in China or Thailand.
I don't know.
It's not made for.
Yeah, it's not only in China, it's also in Thailand. As you see them in like Laos and
Yeah.
Cambodia, right?
You know, they're specifically developed for this kind of countries. And then you see them with a giant Union Jack on the top,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay.
Nah, it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. So I mean, just because you're Mini and you're doing this, I mean the British Empire, love it or hate it, there's a lot of opinion behind it, lah. I mean, you can love it, lah, but there are people like me who feels a lot more when I see a Union Jack. Like, that's not appropriate to brandish this flag around in every places, especially when you're driving to the palace, for example. There are just some places you shouldn't go with.
With the kind of national.
It's like looking
symbol.
at the Hong Kong protester, waving Union Jack flag. Whether you agree with them or not, there is a bit of it just leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, isn't it? And
there's so much symbolism attached to it.
Correct.
Then you go and put it on a product to sell to a premium segment.
Imagine driving this car and then dating Shashi Tharoor's daughter. He will give you a lecture.
Every night until you leave.
Or do you change it to an Indian flag?
Buy a Jaguar.
Wow, so much I cannot take it.
I mean, I can get behind every other thing that BMW did, including changing the logo very subtly to be more flat. But the Union Jack thing is a big cringe, especially on the inside, on the dashboard.
I mean, you see it on the dashboard as well, right? Do they have like projector light at the side here?
They do.
And with the Union Jack?
The projector light shows Mini, the Mini badge.
I dare them to put Union Jack.
It's an option.
Holy they do! Oh no, I'm just joking, right? They really do.
Already did.
Would you feel like in Malaysia, you project Malaysian flag onto the floor and onto a puddle of water, right? And you step on it.
Cannot, man.
I can't. Nationalism aside, there's some respect I reserve for my flag because it means a lot of things, right? It's not something I put on a fashion item just because.
Yeah. I mean, what does this symbolize? You're saying
Breakup of the British Empire! That's what it does!
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
There's the pro-EU here,
Yes.
and the pro-Brexit here. Split apart.
Yeah, this I don't know, man. You can read so much into it. I don't think it's a smart move. They shouldn't.
Nope.
I mean, if you like it, it's okay. But I
You know
would
what
judge
happened?
you.
It's the BMW went through the Audi phase before Audi.
What is that?
They drew Mini into a corner, as in they cannot.
Oh, they
evolve.
cannot design it out of.
Yeah.
They got. You know, I show you. Come. I show you. You know, Mini got themselves into this corner like for 20 years.
Yeah.
Come. That is the
Squarish.
solution. That is the solution.
Making it uglier.
That is the solution.
The original front was beautiful.
Round.
It was
Rounded.
nice.
It was like that. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was this.
and the
this
grill was separated from it. But this design was partially to accommodate a larger engine.
oh, okay.
Because
1.3.
they went up to 1275 or something like that. 1.3 lah basically. That thing is powerful, man. But yeah, if you got yourself into a corner, which is what Audi did, right, for so many years, right?
Yeah. You end up doing stupid things, right?
You can't design out of this. And then for how many generations has it been? Mini looking exactly the same.
3 since BMW took over.
The only difference was the rear, right?
The proportions changed a bit, but it's very subtle. The light shapes, these used to be a bit more round, now they're oval and elongated.
Right.
The angles have changed slightly,
Right.
but the overall shape has not changed.
I mean, of course, these are subjective things. Some people prefer the continuity, some people don't. I am of the opinion that this continuity constitutes a little bit of lacking in creativity and laziness. You don't have to continue to that level. Yeah. Continuity for the sake of continuity is just glorifying yourself as if because I have such good blood flowing through me, I cannot change how I look. And
my investors don't let me change because it's been working for 10 years. Shall we maybe make a move before the dogs eat us? Okay, Autophiles.
we're out of here.
No, in case this is our last video, Autophiles signing out.